On your homepage, you can see at the top recent announcements. The announcements are just worth pausing for a moment and saying, this is important for you to be connected with. There's lots of ways for you to do it. I don't really want you to have to be going to a computer and looking at Ivy Learn every 10 minutes to see if I've made an announcement. So there, of course, is a way to set your notifications so that you can get information about when an announcement has been made. I don't know what's wrong with my computer today, but it's being very slow. So if you go to your profile picture and then you click on that first one, notifications, it takes you to a whole setup. You can put in a phone and have notifications sent by text when a specific thing happens. A lot of students say the easiest thing for them is just to put the Canvas app on their phone. You've got a smartphone, probably. I think 80 or 90% of Americans have smartphones now. So that is a nice, easy way, and then you can just set the notifications the way you do with anything else on your phone. But it's important to be connected. I mean, I'm going to communicate with everybody through the announcements principally, and so that's just a nice, easy way to manage getting that information. We've already had quite a few announcements. I did a couple of welcome announcements. Then there was the Zoom link today. I've posted this announcement about the supplemental instructor. I think there's been a logbook announcement. So a lot of information comes in that way. So don't ignore the announcement. At some point you want to go and you want to read what I had to say because I was saying something directly to you. Down below that, you've got 3 links here. A little positive message here for you. But the course videos link takes you to a page that links you to all of the videos in the course. And it's really important that you know that your textbook has been videoed all the way through. Every single page in your textbook, every single problem has been videoed with somebody discussing how to do the problem. And this person may come to feel a little bit like a friend to you if you watch a lot of the videos. And a lot of, I'm going to share some student advice. That's one of the last logbook is advice to the next round of students. I'm going to share that with you, and you can see some of them really are big proponents of watching the videos a lot. So this is an example here.
Welcome. This video is,
she's just talking about how to do these problems, and these problems come directly out of your book. So it's important for you to know that, because if you miss class, or if you feel like, man, we talked about ratios and I felt good when we were doing it, but now I'm doing the homework and I don't know what's going on, this would be probably my first piece of advice. Like, go to the video and watch the video, line up the video with your textbook, and see what's going on. See if that helps. The Zoom link here, I've made our class link. So I'm going to post this maybe for a couple of days when we meet, a little announcement that says, hey, here's our class. But eventually it's easier for you to just click on the link. I want to make sure that that works, but then that's the place that you're going to go when we have class. And we'll have class every Tuesday and Thursday at this time. My goal is to record the whole class and then chop it up in iMovie and post those somewhere so that you can have access to them if you want to go back and watch something again. I've had trouble in the past, but I feel like I've got a solution now, and it's important for me, again, with the flexibility thing. We're meeting together, we have a chance to talk, you can ask questions, you can interact with me, you can share your work with me. I'm going to talk about how to do that later. But if you miss class, you've got a way to go back and get some of that experience. And then the slides is a place where you can get answers to things that are in the book. And again, you could watch the video to get that, but if you want kind of a more direct, I just want to know if this is the right answer, then you could do that by looking at the slides. Okay, so that's the home page. The syllabus, I think, is another important page. It's got 2 things that are important. First of all, you need the syllabus to do the syllabus quiz. I'm not expecting you to do the syllabus quiz just based on your intuition or reading the syllabus once and then trying it. You should have the syllabus open on a browser page while you're doing the syllabus quiz. So maybe 2 different tabs or 2 different browsers, or you could print out the syllabus and have it next to you so you look at it. The syllabus is a 10-page document, okay? I don't expect you to enjoy reading the syllabus. It's a lot of it is just kind of stuff that's every class has to put in their syllabus to communicate with students. I mean, what is a syllabus? Syllabus is a kind of a contract. It's a way of expressing to the students, like, this is what the class is about. This is how you're going to be graded. This is how we're going to roll. Every college that I've worked at has had, you know, pretty serious ideas about what the syllabus should contain and what you have to say to students. But I will say, looking across at other colleagues' syllabuses, you know, there's wide variation in what people put into their syllabus. So in a way, it kind of tells you something. It should tell you something about the teacher and, you know, how they're going to approach things. So the idea, since it's a 10-page document, and I think it's likely that you may not really look at it very carefully, that's why I created the syllabus quiz. That's the first quiz you're going to take. It's due tomorrow. My goal is to have you get 20 points on it. Normally in class, what we would do is I'd have you start alone. You'd have the actual handout of the syllabus, and you'd be kind of flipping through and looking for answers to things. And then you would get together in groups and you would talk about things. And then finally, we would go over some of the important things. And most people would get 20 points on that, or 18, 19, 20 points, depending on how carefully they read the instructions. It's a little harder in this virtual space because I can't give you those 3 layers of support. But again, you can retake the syllabus quiz. I'm going to give you an opportunity on Friday. If it doesn't go well in the first round, to retake it, so that's not a big deal. But if you have questions about the syllabus quiz, don't hesitate to send me a text. And that's in the syllabus and right on the front page of the syllabus page in Ivy Learn. So write it down, put it into your phone. You should be texting me, not emailing me, when you're trying to communicate. Why are you sending me text messages and not emails? Well, first, I assume that texting is easier for you than emailing. It's certainly easier for me. Second of all, the email system is a little complicated. It's worth spending 15 seconds talking about this. There's an Ivy Learn messaging and there's your student Gmail. Now, when you use Ivy Learn messaging to send me a message, it goes to my email. When I respond, it comes back to your Ivy Learn messaging. So you may not even think about the fact that you're using 2 different systems. But what I want you to know is that if you're not using your student Gmail, you're missing communication from people who are trying to communicate with you only through email, because email does not go to Ivy Learn messaging by default. Email just goes to your email. I send you an email at, you know, aluna32@ivytech.edu. That's going to your student Gmail, not to Ivy Learn. So you could be expecting to be communicated with in Ivy Learn messaging, and you could be confused about the fact that that's not where things are showing up. Financial aid, any technical stuff about admissions or enrollment, that's all going to come through your student Gmail. So you really should know where that is. Again, probably easiest to just put it on your phone. I started off talking about why you're going to text me. The real reason is that I want students to have a way to get a hold of me that my boss doesn't have. So my boss has my email, my colleagues have my email. They want to tell me about a committee or something they want me to do, they're going to send me an email. If I don't want to see that on the weekend, I want a way for you to get a hold of me. So the phone number is a way for you to get a hold of me that they don't have, okay? Because you're more important than them in many ways. Now, the other thing I really like about the syllabus page is this. Don't get overwhelmed by this, but it's important for you to know there's a lot of work to do. We got 8 weeks. You got a lot of work. This is it. This is all the assignments in order when they're due, okay? So it's a way to kind of organize your thinking about what's next, what's next, what's next. And you can't really just be deadline oriented in this course, because there are times and examples of assignments like these homework assignments, for instance, say they're all due on June 23rd. Do not wait until June 22nd to start doing your homework. That's not the point. I just made a decision to have the homework be due on the day of the test because this is just a problem every semester. Different people would do better in different systems. Some people want the deadline to be earlier because they're responding to the pressure to do the work when the deadline is approaching. Other people then complain when I do it that way that they want more time to do the homework. So this is just what I'm doing this semester. The homework is due on the day of the test. It's the morning of the test. It's not midnight of that day. And it's available. So if you want to keep working on it later, you can. It's available to the end of the semester. So the other big one are the projects. The projects are due at the end of the semester, but do not wait until the last week to start working on them. I know it's easy to, when you're busy, to kind of shuffle things off to the side, but it's super important that you keep, poking away at things, because those projects, especially for the people who struggle with tests, are going to be really make or break in terms of passing the class. And so spending time throughout the semester as we get to the topics, and then we're like, okay, well, this is a time to work on your project. Take the time to work on it then, because it's going to really help you at the end be successful. Okay, last thing, if you haven't got your textbook, there is a place here that you can get your textbook, which is in modules. And it's got it broken into units, unit 1, unit 2, unit 3. You can open this up. Or if you were traveling or you were at a friend's house and you didn't have it and you're trying to do a little bit of homework, you can get the textbook here. So it's important that you know that.